Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a public informational, nonpartisan service program designed to get acquainted with the candidates that are vying for the 2022 primary races of mayor, Salem City Council, Marion County Commissioners, and Polk County Commissioners. These interviews come to you through the producers at Capital Community Media. Collaboration on questions and moderators are from Association of University Women, Salem City Club, League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk Counties, and neighborhood associations. All candidates for these races were invited, and all but two chose to participate. Candidates did not receive the 7 questions that were prepared by the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk Counties. Candidates were invited to prepare a 2-minute opening addressing their background and their qualifications for the office, and a 2-minute closing addressing their goals for the office if elected. I'm Bernadine Anderson from Marion Polk League of Women Voters, and I would like to introduce Micky Garus, the candidate for Polk County Commissioner Position 2. Candidate Garus, welcome, and we look forward to your opening remarks.
Hello, thank you for having me, and I appreciate the invite. So I was excited to do this. My name is Micky Garus, and I am running for Polk County Commissioner Position 2. And I believe in protecting American values, protecting property rights, public safety. I support small business and bringing new industry and job opportunities into our community. I recognize that farming and timber is a part of our heritage and a vital part of our economy that when managed correctly by the private sector, less government, we can continue to prosper off these renewable resources and ensure prosperity for future generations. I believe in term limits, and I think that is the most effective way to stop government corruption. And if elected, I will push for that even while serving in this office. I am an advocate for children and making sure they get the best education possible. We need to protect generations that will protect us one day. I recognize we have serious issues with mental health and drug addiction. I will work hard to find solutions that are both effective and compassionate. I will promise government transparency to the extent of my office. I am fiscally conservative, and I will stand with you to hold your government accountable and ensure that your tax dollars aren't being wasted. Elected officials should serve their community and work for the people, and that's exactly what I am all about and the way I've tried to live my life. I have 2 successful businesses in this county, and my family and I are comfortable and secure. I am not looking for a career or a cushy retirement. I just want to do my part and help make Polk County a place of opportunity so people can work towards their own prosperity unhindered by government. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Garus, we would like to now share some questions with you, and we'll go ahead and take a look at those. Our first one today: how do Polk County commissioners work with communication and outreach to our Hispanic Latinx community? Is there anything about that you would change if elected?
I think they need to have a bigger presence, definitely. In the Monmouth and Independence areas, in the West Salem areas, we are having a growing Hispanic community, and they are so vital to our businesses and our industries that we have here in Polk County for a workforce. They're amazing family units, and I don't think there's enough outreach that takes place. As I've been visiting some of these neighborhoods and getting to know some of the communities, they feel like they're kind of left in the dark. They things aren't presented to them. Nobody's coming and talking to them. If they're not out seeking information, they feel like their neighborhoods are forgotten about. This is something that's really important to me, actually. My wife is Hispanic, Lucia. She came from Guadalajara, and she came to the United States when she was 17 years old. And so we have a lot of friends and family and a lot of people in these neighborhoods in Polk County that we are constantly in contact with and visiting and going to quinceañeras. We're hosting a quinceañera at our farm this summer, actually. So it's just such a vibrant community, and they feel like they've been ignored, and it's time to make a change for that.
Thank you. What is the working relationship between Polk County and the Grand Ronde Nation? What do you think are the most important shared issues between those two governmental groups?
Well, I think it's really important to help guide the Grand Ronde Nation and help make sure that they have the resources that they need so their communities can thrive. Again, when you look at these different nations, and you go through and you wonder what's gone wrong. Why are so many people that live in those areas living below the poverty level? Well, again, it's largely because they're left to fend for themselves, and they're ignored, and there's not a good relationship. I think our Polk County Sheriff's Office has done a great job with partnering with Grand Ronde and giving them the resources and the tools and helping them. They have their own law enforcement agency now, which seems to be doing really well, but working in a strong partnership with Polk County. And that's a wonderful relationship. And I applaud our sheriff for keeping that going and helping to build that. But we need more jobs. We need to bring industry into Polk County. In the last 20 some years, it's been pretty stagnant. We've lost a lot of industry. We lost a lot of timber industry. A lot of the mills closed down. We haven't gained a lot of new industry, and it's time to change that. When I look around at our neighboring counties and I see industry thriving and industry moving in, we need to have that industry in here so people have living wage jobs, and it helps get them above that poverty level, and they can start being successful and create their own opportunities. And we definitely need to pay attention to the areas like Grand Ronde that are they're definitely out in the rural Polk County area, away from the bigger cities. And sometimes all the focus remains around those central cities that have the higher populations. We can't ignore those rural locations. Thank you.
We'd like for you now to discuss what progress is being made towards establishing a homeless youth center and shelter in Polk County, maybe in Dallas. What do you know about that?
The homeless issue is a topic that just really has been started to be talked about in our communities the last couple of years. We would always see it on the other side of the bridge in the Salem areas, and we didn't have to deal with that a lot. Now, obviously, the last couple of years, it's changing, and we're starting to see that come into our communities: Monmouth, Independence, Dallas, West Salem. They've dealt with it quite a bit. But I think the mentality for Polk County has been West Salem is Salem's problem, and they've allowed Salem to deal with that more without a lot of interaction from Polk County. But we need to make sure that we have the resources available to get the help that they need. And it's not as much of a funding issue as people feel like there is. There's actually a lot of money that's available in these departments, and there's a lot of opportunity for federal money, grant dollars, state money to come in and help with some of these situations. The hindrance is a lot of government red tape and bureaucracy. And so we need to start eliminating some of that red tape and allow the people that work in these agencies that specialize in helping these people, allow them to be able to do what they know how to do best, and let them go out and do their job. So the drug issue creates a lot of this. When they passed Measure 110 that decriminalized drugs, it was detrimental to our communities. And law enforcement, if you have conversations with them, they'll tell you how much that has increased the homeless population. And so that's something that we really have to combat. We need to put a message to Salem that this isn't working. It's making our communities unsafe, and it's fostering an environment that just causes this type of life to grow, and without any real out for these people. So, and then I just like to say, I like to, help them out, but we have to make sure that it's not just a handout and then we ignore them. We got to help them get past this step by step and be with them. It's going to be a long-term commitment and relationship. And, we want to make sure that they have the resources so they can continue to be prosperous.
Part of your answer included some information we're wondering about for this next question, and that is, what is the role of the county in public health decisions, such as you've looked at drug needs for the homeless, but how about concerning public health in general?
Well, the commissioners in Polk County do oversee the public health department. That is under their scope. And, it's one of those things that, again, if you look at our public health for the budget of Polk County, it's actually funded pretty well. It's one of the bigger funded accounts that we have in Polk County. A lot of the problem is when you talk to the workers inside that department is their hands are tied. There's a lot of regulations and laws that prevent them from being able to give the help to the people that need it the way that would be the most impactful and beneficial and really make a difference. And so, again, we got to look at what is government doing that is maybe well-intended, but not working the way we were hoping that it would work. And then we need to start fixing those issues. Again, cutting some of that red tape, getting some of the bureaucracy out of there, and making sure that we're letting the experts that are trained in these fields be able to do what they need to do to help the people that need help.
Now, earlier in our questions, you commented about reaching the rural areas. So this question asks, what's being done to bring broadband to those rural areas? And are there any other technological communication challenges or issues of concern in Polk County?
I think COVID opened our eyes to a lot of the technological issues that rural Polk County deals with, having to work from home and having to have your kids go to school from home. And so Polk County actually has been working on some of that. They've been partnering and they've been doing a lot of infrastructure work to make sure that the rural parts of the county are starting to be able to take advantage of doing more online stuff, having better broadband, faster internet speeds. There's also new innovations like Starlink, Elon Musk's company that is now starting to expand. And there's people in the Polk County area that have been able to take care of that for an affordable cost and get good service. So definitely we're improving in those areas, but technology is advancing so fast. And again, COVID has taught us that there's a lot of things that we can do through the internet and online and give more people the opportunity to work from home. And for some businesses and the jobs that the people have, it just makes sense. It saves the business money by not having to have an office in town. And so I think you're going to see more of a focus on that. That's something that I definitely am going to continue to push for, because it's the way of the future. And we gotta get on board with it, or we're going to be left behind. And we need to make sure that all the citizens in our Polk County community have the same type of access.
Thank you. Now, you've pointed out a few of the challenges of Polk County. Of those challenges, which do you think are unique to Polk County, and which do you think are not being addressed or need a different approach?
I think there's a couple I could talk about, but I would say that one of the best ways to help a county prosper, or any area prosper, is make sure that you have living wage jobs in your local areas that people can have. And industry has been lacking here, and we need to do a better job of selling ourselves. We live in one of the most beautiful spots in the Willamette Valley, and we have an abundance of amazing resources, but we haven't done a good job of selling and marketing our county and enticing these various industries to want to come in to Polk County and open up their new factory or start their new business. That's something that we really need to focus on. And I think it's about building those relationships. It used to be, years ago, people would say, oh, we're too far away from I-5, or we're too far away from the Portland area to entice those types of industries. But as those bigger cities have grown, we're not so far away anymore. And it's so costly for people to live up in those areas that they don't mind the Polk County area because it's more affordable, and businesses need to start realizing that too. We're not far away from I-5. We're just a skip and a hop. We need that other bridge though. We need to build that other bridge so we can improve the traffic flow, improve the public safety issue, and make it so industries that come into our county can get to I-5 faster and not have to worry about sitting in traffic jams.
Okay, thank you. You earlier mentioned a good relationship with the sheriff's department in Grand Ronde, but are there some concerns that you think face law enforcement in Polk County, and what are the factors that affect those concerns?
Absolutely. One of the biggest factors is we have a serious retention problem with our employees in Polk County. The sheriff's office is losing experienced, qualified deputies because they're going to find other areas that will pay a little bit better, that have a little bit better benefit packages. Out of the 14 surrounding agencies around Polk County, we have, we're at like the bottom 4 on the pay scale. So we need to figure out how we can give deputies a little bit more incentive so they want to stick around. And every deputy we hire, right out of our pocket, it costs us $100,000 to get them trained. And it takes about 2 years for them to get the experience that they really need. When we lose those, it's a huge expense for the community, and it puts us in a bind. We have a serious safety issue. And so we just need to do a better job at making sure that we're being competitive in the other with the other agencies so we can keep our employees here.
Thank you. Now, Candidate Garus, you're invited to share your 2-minute closing comments about your goals for this office if you're elected.
Well, I'm huge on public safety. I served on the Dallas City Council for 4 years. I sit on the sheriff advisory team. I go over policy. I have a close working relationship with the sheriff. I sit on citizen oversight committees for the school board, and I sit on committees for the city of Dallas. I'm very engaged in several different aspects of government, and I look around and I just know that we can do more. I know that we're not taking full advantage of the resources that we have here and doing the things we need to support local business, to support small business, and to entice other industries to look at us as a viable option and come into our community. We have to create jobs here. We have to create jobs, and we have to protect our public safety. Logging, the timber industry, and the farm community, they're our backbone. It's a heritage that we should be proud of, and it's a heritage that we should protect. And they're renewable resources, and managed the right way. When you let the private sector do it, those resources will be around for generations and generations. When you get too much government, too big of government, even though they think they're working for you, there becomes a time when they start protecting that entity and they stop serving the people. My goal is to make sure people understand that as elected officials, we are here to serve you. We work for you first, and you're the boss. And I'm not looking for a career. I want to come and help make my community better for other people. And then I want to come back to my businesses and finish out my retirement with my family. That's it. We just got to get back to serving the community.
Well, thank you, Candidate Micky Garus, for our interview today, for sharing your thoughts in these various areas. And we're so pleased that you could attend.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate what you guys do, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys in the future.
Wonderful. And thanks to Capital Community Media for their extensive technology and producer skills used to create this program. Thank you to the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk County for the design and preparation of the program, to AAUW, Salem City Club, for help with the question development and for providing moderators. And Thanks to you, the public, for watching in order to become an informed voter. For more local, state, and national voter information on candidates and ballot issues, please visit vote411.org. You have until April 26th to register to vote or make changes. Ballots go out April 27th, and according to our new law, will be accepted if postmarked before or on May 17th. Elections matter. Remember to vote, because your vote counts.